Hi, my name is Jessica Sexton, and today I want to talk to you about why we should destigmatize mental health. The purpose of my speech is to persuade the audience to destigmatize mental health. Imagine breaking your arm and being too ashamed to seek treatment, worried about what others might think. Now replace the broken arm with depression, anxiety, or PTSD. This is the reality many people face when it comes to mental illness. Mental illness affects 1 in 5 adults in the U.S., yet stigma surrounding it discourages many from seeking help. Stigma does not just harm individuals, it affects families, workplaces, and society as a whole. To create a healthier, more compassionate society, we must work together to destigmatize mental health through education, open conversation, and better access to care. In the next few minutes, I will explain the dangers of stigma, our role in changing perceptions, and the practical steps we can take to create a more inclusive and supportive environment for mental health. The dangers of stigma. Stigma leads to shame, fear, and isolations for those with mental illness, making them less likely to seek treatment and support. It also reinforces harmful stereotypes. Studies show that nearly 70% of people with mental illness avoid seeking help due to fear of judgment. This can lead to worsening conditions, preventable crisis, or even suicide. Take the case of someone who suffers from depression but is afraid to speak up for fear of being labeled weak. Their silence might delay treatment and recovery. We all have a role in changing perceptions. Changing how society views mental illness starts with us. We must challenge outdated beliefs and stereotypes that paint mental illness as a weakness or something to be feared. Research shows that education and open conversation about mental health significantly reduces stigma and increases understanding. When people share their experiences with mental illness, it normalizes the conversation and promotes empathy. Celebrities like Simone Biles and Prince Harry have openly discussed their struggles with mental health. Their honesty has helped to shift public opinion, showing their mental illness can affect anyone, regardless of status or success. Practical steps to destigmatize mental illness. Step 1, education. Schools, workplaces, and communities should prioritize mental health education. Teaching people from a young age about mental health helps reduce the stigma before it takes root. Step 2, normalizing conversations. We can start by discussing mental health in our daily lives openly. By sharing our experiences and listening without judgment, we can create a safe space for others to do the same. Step 3, access to mental health care. Access to affordable mental health services is critical. This includes advocating for policy changes that expand mental health care coverage and increase funding for mental health care programs. Initiatives like mental health first aid training equip people with the skills to recognize and respond to mental health crises, reducing stigma and increasing support for those in need. We've discussed the harmful effects of stigma, the role we each play in changing perceptions, and practical steps we can take to destigmatize mental illness. Start today by educating yourself, talking openly about mental health, and advocating for better mental health care. Small actions like checking in on a friend or speaking up against harmful stereotypes can create ripple effects. Together, we can break down the stigma surrounding mental illness. Let's create a world where seeking help is seen as a strength, not a weakness, and where mental health is treated with the same compassion and care as physical health. Thank you.